Welcome, welcome to another podcast of the current situation, Manchester United. The current situation is that there is no current situation because football ain't playing, but that's my catchphrase for starting any video that I'm doing. But hope you guys are enjoying your week because it just started. Uh, I know it's hard to enjoy the days. They're just running down like the hourglass. I mean, not going outside. You're in lockdown. You're in quarantine. I mean, people are just losing their head skulls. People are just, they don't know if they're people anymore. They feel like hermits, because they're in their house shell. They can't come outside, even if they want probably buy something to eat or something. Um, okay, so this video shouldn't be a long one, but I usually say that and it end up being the opposite and in reverse. But yeah, I'm going to examine the appeal of Jose Mourinho at Manchester United. So this is no current situation. This was a current situation back in the day, but now it's a new day. Um, so I'm going to examine the appeal on Jose Mourinho's time at Manchester United. Now, Jose Mourinho came into the Premier League in 2004 to manage against Chelsea, which one could argue that is one of the best Chelsea sides ever graced the Premier League. Um, I mean, I think they conceded only 15 goals all that season. I have the Hills probably conceding like 15 goals in 2 weeks or something. I mean, come on, bro, what's that? Hmm? But I ain't go bash. I ain't go. I ain't go smash the Hill like that because he has been a great keeper for the years, and I hope he continues, although he's declining. But such is life. Um. So Jose Mourinho came into the Premier League 2004, and he had a great side. I think his pimp Roman Abramovich could say signed 22 players. I think that summer. Of course, they got out Deadwood because the previous manager was Claudio Ranieri, I believe, and he didn't make the cut for Chelsea, and Roman just kicked him. So Mourinho came in and he wanted a new plan. See, the thing with Mourinho is that he's one of those managers. If you don't, it's either two things. He's either back him or he leaves. He's either back him or he leaves. It's like he has that it's my way or the highway mentality and mindset. You see me? So during his time at Chelsea and after his time at Chelsea, he had a lot of players that played for him because he had, as I mentioned in a previous video, he had power and influence. Power and influence, meaning that his influence could tell a player what to do and he would do it. He wouldn't probably do it to perfection because that's his not position, but he they would go through hills and valleys for Jose Mourinho. Especially players like Drogba. Like I read a tweet on Twitter, I'm always on Twitter, and someone said that in 2003 or 2004, was 2004, um, Roman Abramovich wanted to sign Ronaldinho for Chelsea. And since Jose Mourinho was appointed manager, Mourinho was like, nah, bruh, go and get Didier Drogba for me. Go get him for me. I want him to be my player. See, Mourinho is one of those players, and he might be against the grain, but Mourinho is one of those managers, I should say, that wants players that play for him and exclusively for him, especially in a time period where he's the manager and he wants his players to play for him. He doesn't want players that has not necessarily not, that has doesn't have big egos because he not married. He managed Zlatan, he managed Diego Costa, he managed Ronaldo, he managed some of the biggest personalities and egos in the game. But when it comes on to one-on-one management, and this is why sometimes it's said that Mourinho has certain gaps where he follows out in certain players, which is true. But Mourinho is the type of manager who wants players to play for him, players that go through hill and valley for him. And that is why I see Mourinho sticking with some certain players than one would make it, I would say. I mean, he ain't no, he's not a flashy player. He does have integrity to his game. But this is what he has. He has the Mourinho mindset. He has the Mourinho mentality. So eventually, with that mentality, Mourinho's players are going to play for him. Not saying that Mourinho has hypnotized his players. Probably that is the end goal of him getting the treble, I guess. But you have to understand that Mourinho loves players that plays for him exclusively. If you're not on the Mourinho boat, leave the boat. Leave the boat. Mourinho doesn't want players that doesn't want to play for him. Another thing is that Mourinho doesn't want a player that has a defined nature to them. Not saying that he wants any subservient or submissive player. This ain't no BDSM. Still, he wants players that defer to his will. Like you tell a player, hey, I know this is not your position, but I want you to play right wing. I want you to stay there. You're going to be a second fullback on the right hand side. Yes, we have the lead in the second leg, but in the first leg, but in the second leg, I want you to play as the second right back on the right hand side, if there is such thing. But I'm just making up stuff to say that Mourinho loves players that play for him, plays for him. That's why I had Lampard, John Terry, Ashley Cole, Peter Cech, though the four quarterbacks, if not more, that was the core of Chelsea. That was the core of Chelsea for over a decade, I should say. So bringing this full circle to Manchester United and Mourinho. Mourinho was appointed by Manchester United in 2016. So may say that Mourinho should have signed for Manchester United when he left Real Madrid in 2013, which is a good assessment, but Chelsea came calling for a second time. And yeah, so he was appointed by Manchester United in 2016. And a lot of delusional Manchester United supporters, no surprise, it could be millennial Manchester United supporters. They were trying to say that Mourinho was going to win the league in his first season, and they didn't even see the signings. They were just talking off the top of their dome, saying that Manchester United was going to win the league with no signings. Yes, players were linked, but they weren't signed officially or unveiled by any stretch. Zlatan came into the picture. Zlatan tried to play it down throughout the Euros of 2016. Paul Pogba came in, Eric Bailly came in, Mkhitaryan came in, and you could say that was a fairly successful transfer window, at least in the summer. But on the flip side, you have to remember that on the other flip side of the coin, Manchester City signed Pep Guardiola. And you could say that Pep Guardiola has been Mourinho's Memphis, Memphis, not arch enemy, but his rival since in Spain. But since they came out of Spain and they didn't play in Spain again, they come to England. Pep Guardiola managed Man City, and Jose came to Manchester United. So it was kind of a lovey-dovey story right there. So from rivals in Spain to rivals in England, and that's a lot of players. But here's the thing: Manchester City, despite not winning the league, I mean they didn't really do bad when Leicester won the league, but they had a decent squad. Players were waning like Toure company slowly, getting injury prone slowly. I had players that were crap like Mangala, Fernando, Sagna, but it was still a solid side. But for Manchester United, we had a poor squad, a very young squad, I should say. But Mourinho needed to be backed in that summer. So in his first year, Mourinho got United to sixth place. Sixth place. Now there are some games that United should have won, like the game at home against Burnley, where United like take like I don't know, like a centuries of shots or something and couldn't find the back of the net. That was a frustrating draw at home. And also, you have to understand that Mourinho, alright, in terms of his style of play, Mourinho is a manager throughout the years from Porto to as we speak, because he's at Tottenham currently. Mourinho is the type of manager that I would say is a rebel. He goes against the grain. Mourinho is not. I mean, he could be, and he has been at Real Madrid at least in his second to last season at Real Madrid. But Mourinho is not the manager that is flashy, like bling blings that anyone would wear over their neck or on their wrist or something. He's the manager that wants to get the work done. One way or another, he's going to get the work done. And Manchester United felt that they needed this man to win them a trophy at the earliest convenience. Not really a trophy because United won a trophy prior to Mourinho coming through Louis van Gaal through the FA Cup, but the FA Cup wasn't fully satiated with the status of a club like Manchester United. So they booted Van Gaal and they got Van Gaal's mentee, which was Mourinho, funnily enough, and he managed Manchester United. So, yeah, so Mourinho is the type of manager that like to play with a target man up top. For those listening and in the hearing of my voice, would say, man, what's a target man? I mean, is that someone you're trying to shoot, you're trying to work on your shooting skills or something? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, a target man in the football realm of things is a strike. Well, he's a forward, but he's more of a centre forward. I wouldn't say he's a striker because again, a striker is a person that runs in behind and score the goals. A centre forward is a player that is a physically strong player that is given a role to play in the squad to hold the ball and bring others into play. The target man role is the target man role. I love the target man role. I've played target man a few times and it's not the best, especially if you care about your face and your looks and you appeal to if you're this good looking guy. I mean, the target man role is not a role for you. And it was an old fashioned target man, old fashioned striker forward type of player, I should say, sorry, where a centre back or the goalkeeper most times would aim for that centre forward in the air, and the target man would take it in his chest, flick it off with his head, or if he has charisma in his play, he just pulls it with this side of his chest or something. So yeah, that was the target man, and Mourinho loves the target man. We look at Didier Drogba, we look at Benzema to a degree. I mean, Benzema is not really a target man per se, but he could play that role. Who else? Milito. Um, Diego Costa. That's four. Zlatan. That's five. Twice actually. Inter Milan and at Manchester United. So that's five and six. Lukaku. Lukaku. He had the appeal of a target man, but was he really a target man? One could argue no, but Mourinho thought otherwise. So let's go with six. So during Mourinho's career as a manager, he had at least, could be more, at least six target men he had that played up top and would get the goals and play different roles. And Manchester United supporters at the time knew what they were getting with Mourinho. I mean, you can't buy a miniskirt and when the wind is blowing, you're trying to cover your cleavage or something. I mean, you know what you're getting with a miniskirt. And it's the same thing with Mourinho. You cannot expect Mourinho to be this possessive, possession-based type of manager. That's not him. Mourinho is a pragmatic manager, and he gets the job done. Whether it's thick, thin, ugly, the good, the dirty. Mourinho gets the job done. And that is why he's been criticized for the past 5 years because of the way he wants his team to play. Another thing about Mourinho is that Mourinho wants, again, I mentioned this earlier, Mourinho wants players that run through bricks and walls for him. What do you mean by that? Meaning he wants players and participants, of course, to have high work rate. Like he doesn't want any lazy type of player to play for him. I mean, there were some that slipped through the cracks like Ozil, but I wouldn't say Ozil was necessarily lazy, especially at Real Madrid. Ozil was playing good ball at Real Madrid. And if you know anything about Mesut Ozil, I'm just looking at it as an outsider. I don't know Ozil personally. I wish I would, but I don't. Ozil looks at the player that if things are going for him, he might put in a shift. Maybe not at the highest degree or in terms of intensity, but Ozil is the type of player, if he's not playing well, he's non-existent. He's like John Cena in a wrestling ring or something. So you won't see him or see him perform for that reason. So Mourinho likes players that have high work rate. That's why I see him love to use Rashford on the wings to accommodate his target man up top. That's why I see him have a lot of players that like Ramirez. Ramirez was You could say Ramirez was like a third stringer to players like Jisung Park. Yeah, they had a very strong respiratory system, and they were just non-stop. You could say that those were the mitochondria of the team. They were the powerhouse of the team. One could say that hey, if Conte played for Mourinho, man, it would be Christmas coming early, and it's just April. Um, so Mourinho at Manchester United, right? Mourinho came to, well, I already said that, sorry. Mourinho's time at Manchester United hasn't set the world alight, has it? Especially in his first year. We won, well, I didn't play, so I wouldn't say we, but I'm a fan, so I guess I could say I'm in the family realm, but yeah, Manchester United in Mourinho's first season won the League Cup. I thought I would say the league. Nah, nah. They won the League Cup and they won the Euro League. Yeah, 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 yeah. They won the Euro League quite convincingly because it wasn't top opponents. Although United were on the string at times. Like for example, in the 9 minutes against Celta Vigo played a ball into the box, and I think it was what's the ex-Liverpool's player name again? Iago Aspas. I think he almost scored an away goal, and if they score an away goal, they have to score 2 goals to eliminate that goal. But we went through, and they were eliminated, and yeah, United went through and won the EuroLeague quite convincingly. But in his second season, Mourinho had problems. Zlatan got an injury that could set him back, a quite a lengthy injury, at least on paper. But Zlatan being the line he came months, months, months. How would say? Yeah, he came back because he's just Zlatan. He's a lion, right? And but he wasn't fully fit as a player. At least he wasn't fully fit. He was match fit, and Manchester United need a striker. Antoine Griezmann, who was a cock teaser, claimed that he wanted to play for Manchester United, but he was a cock teaser to get a better deal to see Atletico Madrid. Also, Atletico Madrid had a policy, some policy, and not policy, but they were banned for a transfer market. I believe that year, 2017, of the summer. So Griezmann stayed after Cocktease in Manchester United for like 6 to 9 months. Saying that, oh, I love to wear the number 7 for Manchester United. I rate David Beckham and the long sleeve and the red jersey. I mean, I would just fit that number 10 so nice like a glove. But he didn't come to Manchester United. So you're talking about, you know? So he was a cock teaser. And Griezmann set a lot of United supporters bums on fire. Like he really got them pissed. A lot of United supporters really wanted Griezmann, but this ain't about Griezmann getting. This is about Mourinho. So Mourinho knew that Griezmann was going to stay at Manchester United. He had options like Dybala, but Dybala wouldn't come. Lewandowski and Lukaku was a player. Actually, wait, Morata was number one priority before Lukaku. So when Lukaku came into Manchester United, that was because that's because Morata signed for Chelsea and Lukaku came in. Because see the thing, if Morata came to Manchester United, I think it would have been a way better season for Manchester United that season. And if Lukaku went to Chelsea, because Antonio Conte loves Lukaku, which explains why he's at Inter Milan, both of them, I believe personally and wholeheartedly that Lukaku would do better for Chelsea under Conte and Morata for Manchester United for Mourinho. But all of them left. Mourinho left Manchester United, which I'm getting to, and Lukaku left Manchester United because Oli came into the play. So you had players like this might be a long rant or ramble, but I hope you guys just stick with me. I have a tendency to do that sometimes, but in Mourinho's second season, that's where the fire bell started to ring. That's where people say, okay, this guy is losing it. But that's not before that second season started, because when that season started, Man United was known as 4-0 FC. 4-0 FC. You know, beat bashing teams 4-0. Lukaku was scoring goals. Rashford was getting his in, and Marcel was getting his goals in, and Mkhitaryan was getting assists for days, but he wasn't playing well. He was sat padding. Matic was very decent in midfield. Pogba was playing very good in midfield, and things were looking pretty good. But Lindelof was horrific against Huddersfield, bruh. Hey, you look like if someone was watching Lindelof from a naked eye and he didn't know anything about football, they would pretty much say this guy is not a defender, is he? Because I mean, Moy bossed him around. Yeah. So that is where the performance started to dip. Against Chelsea, Manchester United lost against Chelsea at the bridge. United always have a shitty start at the bridge, but yeah, and that goal, funnily enough, came from Morata with a flying header. It was Ronaldo S, it was Michael Jordan S. I guess you could say that he had more game than Michael Jordan in the air, but that's a different story. So United lost against Chelsea, against Huddersfield, and we nicked a 1-0 win against Brighton at home against, I think it was through a goal from Ashley Young. So that was a buck up. So United's performances were dipping. Lukaku goals were drying up. Zlatan was still on the rehabilitation table, and things were things were just dipping. And to make matters worse, Manchester United got knocked out by Bristol City in extra time, and the fans when the Brit when the Bristol players they scored the goal, it's like the Bristol fans start like when it was full time. Man, the field just looked like a ants nest of ants, just full of them, especially if it was black ants. Man, people just flood the field like sheeps. Feel like flood they just flood the players like say, hey, we've beat Manchester United, we beat Manchester United. Yeah. I don't want this video to be long, but let's see. Um, so yeah, that's when fans were saying, okay, this guy is not the guy for us. He's not the guy for us. He needs to go ASAP, pronto. And to make matters worse, bro, man conceded a goal in less than 10 seconds against Tottenham. 10 seconds. Tottenham played a long ball to, I think it was Hurricane or Llorente. I don't think Llorente was playing if Hurricane started, but yeah. And Ericsson net the goal in 10 seconds in. And speaking of Tottenham, I'm going to get to them in quite a bit against Manchester United. So I think Manchester United lost that game as well. United was trained against Chelsea, but United, being the Manchester United club they are, they came around and won that game. And yeah, against Chelsea, United was supposed to draw against not against Chelsea. Arsenal in Arsene Wenger, I haven't called his name for a good while. Wenger's last season, his last game against Manchester United. Manchester United was supposed to draw that game, but because of Fellaini, players like Fellaini, Mourinho's favourite players like Fellaini, found a goal before full time and it finished 2-1 to Manchester United. So despite United getting the results, they were getting wins, but it wasn't convincing wins. Because again, Alexis Sanchez signed in January 2018, but things weren't just. And to make matters worse, Manchester United lost in the second season of Mourinho to West Brom at home. West Brom at home. It was said that Manchester United, about in the 76th minute or so forth, had six, no, that's not six, had six attackers on the field. Six attackers on the field. Just two, if not one midfielder in the play for Manchester United, and that was Matic. So you had Alexis Sanchez, Lukaku, Martial, Rashford, Lingard, and another attacker that I'm missing at the moment. It could be no, not Valencia, because Valencia wasn't playing as an attacker, but he used to be an attacker, but he's not. But six attackers, full going forward, but they couldn't make a goal. And United lost against West Brom, and that coincide gave Man City the league and the edge to win the league. But against Man City at the Emirates, at the Etihad Stadium, United was trailing against two goals before halftime. Gundogan and I believe Company. Yeah, Company scored the first goal. And in the second half, of course, as you could imagine, the story. Manchester United overcame that with three goals. And yeah, City could win the league against us. Ray. Um, Another thing, Sevilla against Manchester United in the first leg. Manchester United, in the round of 16, drawed against Sevilla, I should say, and they were to play at their home in Spain. And man started Scott McTominay and Matic in the midfield. Pogba was on the bench, I believe. Speaking of which, Manchester United also lost against Newcastle that season and still got second place. That is like about 7 losses, bro. Anyway, so Mourinho started Matic and McTominay midfield against Seville, and they drew. No goal was scored in the first leg. So Manchester United fans waited in participation and anticipation for the second leg because they believed that we were going to squash Seville with the right knee and knock them out of the Champions League round of 16. Not exactly. Not exactly. Manchester United, of course, through Mourinho, had Pogba on the bench. Fellaini was on the bench, of course. Matic and McTominay started in midfield for that game. Lukaku up top, of course. And the tactics was trash by Jose Mourinho in the second half. In the second half or the second leg. United could have scored, but they didn't. And in the second half, Manchester United were on the ropes. In the about 80th minute, a player named Ben Yedder, a player who I call the French Danny Ings, scored an away goal. Scored an away goal against Manchester United, and Manchester United knew they were going to be knocked out because with the away goal rule in flow effect, they needed to score 2 goals. And since the side scored an away goal, in their mind they're saying, okay, we have the away goal, let us defend it out. Let us not go gung ho, let us play route one. Or just defend it out, play the Mourinho. Let's imitate Mourinho and park the bus. And park the bus. So that's what they did. And they got another goal from another Seville player, and that was 2-0 loss at home. And Manchester United got knocked out. Of course, to keep things simple and go fast forward, Mourinho was under a lot of scrutiny, and his job was in jeopardy because potentially he could be fired and he could be sacked. And in his press conference, it showed that he had a lot of anger and resentment and pessimistic tendencies towards his behavior. Like he was like getting at players in the press conferences, and it hurted the morality and the dressing room. Players started looking at him differently, like Luke Shaw when I think this was another season, but I ain't gonna get into that. When he was saying that, hey, I made Luke Shaw do this and that. I told Luke Shaw what to do, and Luke Shaw obeyed me. I mean, that was just some narcissistic dumb shit, man. You know, they don't do that to their players. Um, so yeah, he had a lot of scrutiny to him and he had a lot of hot sauce on him because papers had it saying Mourinho could be fired. He was getting a lot of heat from Manchester United supporters, especially on online. Like people are saying, sack this guy, sack this guy. He had Pogba on the bench. He didn't start Pogba. Sack this guy. He needs to go. He needs to go. But in his press conference, he released a term what is known as football heritage. Football heritage. Again, I'm not going to go in football heritage because I'm not the one that established or made that name a name. But I'm just going to say, in his rant press conference in the FA Cup against, I think it was Reading. Sorry. Hope I don't have coronavirus. Sorry about that. He was basically saying football heritage. He was basically saying that a lot of sides that had better players inherited by previous managers, but because he was the ugly black duckling that had the poor squad, he didn't inherit good players. And he said that in a passive aggressive way. A lot of people read into what he was trying to say, but he didn't want to say it in an overt or confronted manner. So he just, Mourinho being Mourinho, he said it in a more passive aggressive way, talking about football heritage. And basically, he was saying that the squad wasn't good enough. Basically, period. He was basically saying that without saying it. He was basically saying that Seville was a better team than Manchester United. And he said that there are a lot of Seville players that could have started for Manchester United, which kind of stir United fans like, okay, what's wrong with this dude? I mean, he's lost his head or something. And yeah, so without going full circle, I might make this a part two. I might do a part two sometime this week, but in the first and second season of Manchester United with Mourinho, Mourinho had a full glare of he had a smile in his first season. He won the League Cup, he won the Euro League, and he finished sixth place, which was professional and kind of not bad, especially in the first season. But in the second season, that's where the smiles turn into frowns, and that's where he started to lose his cool a bit more. Basically, you could say that Mourinho was becoming more of a Mourinho type of Mourinho. Like the nice guy facade in the first season was fading away slowly but surely, and the devil side of Mourinho was coming to the surface. So while the nice guy Mourinho was being suppressed slowly but surely, especially in his second season, the devil Mourinho became more overt. It became more. It could be seen more in his behavior. It could be seen in his behavior. So as I close this video, Mourinho in his second season, he got Manchester United 81 points. He got them 19 points behind Manchester City, who moonwalked the league backways in their sleep with over 100 points. I think they conceded the least amount of goals, which would warrant David Gea in being the best goalkeeper that season, getting the Golden Gloves that season, because he's the reason that Manchester United got second place. Don't get it twisted now. It's not because of Lukaku's goals, it's not because of this and that. It's because of De Gea and Mourinho, of course. And Mourinho called up Pogba on his BS. Pogba was misbehaving. Mourinho made Pogba captain. He made Pogba captain. And when he noticed that Pogba said certain stuff on the television or in interviews, Mourinho's like, okay, I can't make this guy my captain again. I must strip him naked of the captaincy and give it to someone else who is worthy of the captaincy. Whether it's Antonio Valencia, well, Antonio Valencia was always Manchester United's captain, but he didn't really play that much. But he was saying, with Valencia leaving Manchester United, I need to give it to someone who I can look up to bring the team, grab the team by the scruff of the neck, and tell them, yo, we need to get a point. We need to play well in this game. Get goals, score goals, and assist goals. So, as I wrap up, because I'm going to do a part two, Mourinho's second season, despite what any Manchester United supporters want to say, that was a fairly decent season. Yes, we lost a lot of games, a good amount of games that season, and we drawn a lot of games which would warrant us getting second place. But Mourinho overachieved with that squad. He got this squad to the FA Cup finals and they lost against Chelsea with a goal through Eden Hazard. And you know, it wasn't a bad season. It wasn't a bad season. At the time, a lot of people were saying it was a bad season, but there was a reason that Mourinho said it wasn't a bad season. Actually, he said that was one of his greatest achievements ever, ever. That was his conclusion at the time of reasoning. So I hope you guys enjoyed this of the day. I'm going to do part two of Mourinho's time at Manchester United. Again, I have a tendency to rumble and crumble like popcorn and cornflakes all over the place. But in full seriousness, I'm just going to evaluate and re-examine the appeal of Mourinho's time at Manchester United in part two, which would segue me into his third season, which wasn't finished through him, but we know the rest. But I'm not going to spoil for you guys. Stay tuned. I hope you guys like and leave your comments down below. I know this was somewhat of a ramble, but I usually do at times. I'm sorry for that. But I hope you guys enjoy my podcast and support me. Stay safe. Don't come out of your house if you need, only if you need to. Talk to you guys later. Peace.